You're listening to another episode of Mr. Alex Neighborhood. This is the place where we're entitled to Brad's opinion. And now for your host, Brad Allard.
Well, how are y'all doing today? As you can see, I'm sitting here by myself right now because Camille got caught up in traffic, which happens between trains and road constructions. It's like over the river and through the woods to get over here these days. You know what I mean? It's like an epic journey that they write Greek poems about.
Journey.
You know,
Journey.
Odysseus had it easy compared to just getting over here with all the lane closures and trains and whatnot. And so, but I'm here, and she'll be here. She'll be walking in when she gets here, and we're going to visit about Optavia and diet plans during the holiday season because it's tough, you know.
Good conversation.
Well, it's needed, particularly for diabetics like me. I mean, this is a rough time because everybody wants you to try their pie or their cake or whatnot. You don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, and then they pile on the big meals, and you have the holiday meals and the Christmas parties. Oh, I'll just take a bite of that cookie and whatever else, and pretty soon your numbers are through the roof. And so that's part of it. She'll tell us how we can navigate through that. And we have a pretty full week this week. Tomorrow, I'm going to have Jack Matson of the United States Marine Corps. He's going to be telling us about Toys for Tots. It's over at Chisenhall Park. It's going to be on the 30th, I believe. We'll have the banner up in a couple of minutes, and we'll have a specific date. A lot of dates running through my head. But anyway, at the end of the month, we're going to have a Toys for Tots drive. The Marines have been doing for 75 years now, and it's always a great thing. And then on Thursday, I'm going to have Kevin Ozzie, who is the director of BISD Fine Arts and Athletics. I'm going to talk about what's going on in those departments and how you can access information about what's going on. I mean, I could imagine between plays and musicals and ball games and you name it. He's probably got a pretty full day, I'm sure. Okay, I'm trying to get to the link here. I got to go through all this routine, do the voodoo I do.
The voodoo you do.
About on Facebook. Golly, why can't Twitter be run as well as Facebook, huh?
I think it's run better, honestly.
That was a gig right there because you were expressing a great deal of angst about Mr. Musk and why he's getting all this abuse. What's happening
Well,
there?
I mean, he fires I have a decent amount of people, and he gets all hellfire and brimstone. And then Zuckerberg fires at 11,000. And they're like, all hail Zuckerberg.
You think there's some politics behind that? Because
I'm sure.
Musk came out saying, I'm going to vote Democrat and all this other stuff. And people are like,
Citizen
I
vote Republican.
despise you now. I don't get on Twitter. So all this is just noise in the background for me. Are you on Twitter?
I got back on, yeah.
All right,
I paid the $8.
And
I am verified.
What is the $8 about?
You get less ads, and your tweets are they show up more often and a higher priority in search. So I figured I'll pay $8 and see what it's all about.
Well, for $8 for a lifetime service or monthly?
Oh, it's a month.
Yeah, it's what I figured.
Yeah, come on.
Well, anyway, I don't have a dog in that fight. I don't use Twitter. Instagram is okay. Facebook is what it is. It's become one of those things that become as necessary as the telephone, particularly if you're doing this thing. But
yeah, for sure.
Well, let's talk about who makes this thing possible. Might as well do the sponsors while we wait on Camille. All right, thank you, Daniel. CrossFit Burleson, 317 Southwest Wilshire. It's getting cold, so if you want to have a good workout, you're going to have to do it indoors most likely, and so it's a good place to do it. It has all the facilities you need, all the iron you need to throw, and it's got trainers, it's got supervision, it's got programs, so it's not just a one-off kind of thing. You can get into a real program and to get fit instead of throwing a fit. That's what my motto I made up for Daniel. He was really appreciative. Anyway, CrossFit Burleson, 317 Southwest Wilshire. Check out their webpage for membership plans and programs. Also, Shandy Stoggsdale Real Estate and the Real Estate Group. She is very busy, even though you read the papers about the declining market and all this other stuff. This market around here isn't declining much. And so she's keeping busy. And you need to talk to her if you're looking to move in and around this area because the houses, they may not be going quite as fast, but they go faster than the national average. And so you need to have somebody that can help you navigate through that, particularly with the rates rising and what their forecasts are going to be and whatever else. Shandy takes care of all those kind of things. She knows what she's talking about. So give her a holler if you're looking to move. Also, our friend, Our Place. I was there just last Thursday. I'll be there. I think I have an appointment, so to speak, a business arrangement next Monday. So, I mean, Our Place has become the place that I do a lot of business because it's quiet, it's unobtrusive, it's relaxed, it's not It's not the kind of place that you feel like you're in a hurry. I like to sit out on that patio. I don't know if I'll be able to do that much anymore with this colder weather, but our place on the highway and Alsbury, thank you, Otto, for all you do. And Chris, I was just visiting with Chris Thursday night. He went to a B&I social mixer, and I dropped by his joint, and it's great. It really is. I look in there, and it's about 6 in the evening, and not a real bright place, but it's not like dark and dank. It's appropriately lit, appropriately ventilated. It's just a really nice place to go have a cigar and a drink and a conversation. It's you don't feel like you're in the middle of a rock and roll concert or something like that, because it's a place you can do business there. Also, they do have a conference room, by the way, if you want to do a little business as a group or as a company. So, also, thank you to Tiffany. She was there also at this B&I mixer. The Local Life magazine's out. I picked up several copies. It's wonderful as always. It says great, not just great ads, but also decent articles about local people. Also, it has in the center of it, it has the month's events, city and otherwise. So if you have an event going on, let her know. She'll put it in the calendar. The city uses her for a lot of these public events, like when is the Christmas parade? What's going to be happening with the plaza during the Christmas season, things of that nature. So if you want to know what's going on, it's a good place to do it. Also, it's a great place to add 30,000 homes. That's a lot. All right. Thank you to Southern Gym. They are busy. My wife, as you all well know by now, works there. Southern Gym, fine jewelry and gemstones on the top of the Windmill building. The little B&I group that we were both in had the meeting right next door, because the Windmill building has this patio and this little kitchen area and tables, and it's really nice. And her new store, the one that's going to move 2 floors down rather, it should be open pretty soon. A lot of it has to.
Did she just get her new sign up?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, I saw it lit up. I was like, whoa, that looks awesome.
It is, doesn't it though? And she's going to be open for Christmas season. So you check out when the hours are, and she does all sorts of stuff. Repairs and fixing and cleaning and design. That's the word I'm looking for. And also inventory, and a great deal of inventory. I mean, if Camille here, and when she gets here, she'll tell you. We all saw the inventory she had Thursday night. It's very, very nice. Melissa Harmon I'm sorry, I forgot Michelle. Sorry, Michelle. Sorry, darling. Hot Works is another good time to do it. It's at this time of year, you go in there for a hot blast or hot yoga, hot Pilates. When I say hot, it's infrared. It's not like you're in a bacon oven or something like that. It's it's not like that kind of hot, but it's hot, infrared hot. You do this, right? What's it like?
I went last night.
What is it? What does it feel like? Do you feel hot?
It's hot.
Is it now?
Hot to the touch, though. It's not like.
Yeah, but you're not in there like some sort of sweat box or anything like that.
No.
People get the wrong idea. It's the infrared system that generates the heat, so you get a more maximized workout. And it's really, really nice. A lot of the people at B&I are members there, and they just swear by it. Now, Melissa Harmon, another B&I member, Texas Farm Bureau. She can help you with your insurance. Call her at 682-804-0534. The good thing about Melissa is that she'll inspect what you have, and if she can beat it, she will. She can't, she'll tell you. And there is Camille. Come on in. We've been starting it. Good, just hook up. No problem. Good morning. She's had traffic issues and whatnot, so we all do. And while she gets her gear together, we'll just say, let's run through the nonprofits. Okay, we also have, the Christmas ornament fundraiser for Re-Inspire. That's at Bennett's and at Accents, the store over by the railroads. You've probably been there. You want to put the mic on, dear? Oh, yeah. Yeah, she act like a rookie here. You've been issues. Yeah, having issues.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's okay. I'm glad you can make it.
Thanks.
$15 donation for a Christmas ornament, and it goes for a really good outfit. They have their new facility over on Henderson in Cleburne, and they're trying to expand that. And also tomorrow, like I mentioned, Jack Madsen from the U.S. Marine Corps is going to be here to talk about the Toys for Tots. It's at the 75th anniversary, November 30th, 6 through 11:30 p.m. So it's going to be open, at night. So here's a great idea for the day.
What is it?
You could go over to Southern Gym and look for Christmas presents.
I already picked mine out.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and I was telling when I was doing her run that you were very impressed with the inventory.
Oh, yes.
And then you can maybe go by and drop off a toy, and then you can go by Chris over at Wild and have a cigar and feel good about yourself.
Oh, hey, look at that.
There you go. Or, if anybody else wants to advertise, that can work too. So how are you doing? Do you feel like you've been thrown out of a fast-moving train?
Man, I do.
Yeah.
And then run over by that train.
Yes.
A few times.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming because, I'm fatigued with politics. I'm going to talk about that maybe next Monday, but I've had enough for a little while. But anyway, I was telling Taylor last week was a triple face plant. The Republicans.
Politically?
Or no, all the way around.
Okay.
Republicans didn't do well, which I have mixed opinions about, mixed feelings. It's not, I talked about it Thursday, but I have mixed feelings about it. Maybe I'll explain that in a minute. And then the Baylor Bears laid a tremendous goose egg Saturday night. It was awful. And then the Cowboys, messed things up in the fourth quarter. So, man, I couldn't get a break.
Have you been to therapy yet this week? Because I think that's pretty rough.
I'm going to therapy at Chris's later.
Okay, good. That's not exactly what I was talking about, but okay.
Yeah. Well, and as far as the politics, I'm going to talk about that next Monday more in detail, but I have a real mixed opinion because, I think I did a show Thursday called The Reckoning, and I think it just had to happen to the Republican Party.
Yeah.
It had to happen because you could not keep attaching yourself to Mr. Trump and not have this kind of thing happen. On the other hand, I really wanted at least a moderate or, a small amount of control in the Congress to keep Joe Biden from doing these crazy stunts. Because I was reading yesterday in the New York Times, Elizabeth Warren already has a wish list, and it's all these goofy ideas and, get rid of the filibuster and all that. So if it comes out pretty much even with each party get one of the houses, I'll call it even and move on. But we'll see. But anyway, that's next week. We're not here to talk about that. We're going to talk about Optavia and dieting and whatnot.
Let's talk about all kinds of things.
Whatever else was on your mind.
Did you see the air show?
I saw what happened. I guess the tragedy that they ran into each other in midair and 6 people died.
6 people? That's the count? Okay. I wasn't sure. I think most of that was the crew on the larger aircraft.
They were on the aircraft. There weren't anybody on the ground. But I saw that in the paper. And when I say the paper, I'm being figurative. Yeah.
Wow.
Everybody
It's a loose term,
you still get the paper. I'm talking about, social news.
I do miss the paper, though.
I do, too.
Yeah, I miss the
I get it on
papers.
Sundays, the Dallas Morning News, or if they substitute the Star Telegram sometimes because they're the same company.
Yeah.
And I like to read the paper holding it in my hand, but Sunday's the only day I get it physical. The rest is all online, and that's what it is. And I miss that.
Me too. I like the paper books. I like to read a book.
I read
I like
books.
to read the newspaper. I also look at my news on my phone, but not very often. I don't watch much news.
Well, as far as reading articles online, if they're short, I'll kind of glance through them. But if there's a longer article or a book review, I like reading book reviews. I'll copy and paste it and print it off on Friday afternoon, and it'll be my reading for the next 3 or 4 days.
That's a good idea.
Because I still like holding on to it. And I know, ink and paper and all that, I could be saving that. But I just like holding things as I read.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I'm just an old man.
Well, there's, I don't know. It just seems so, I don't know if it's more a mental thing, if I'm just resistant to the fact that I'm not really, digitally, technically savvy or.
Oh, for me, it's just nostalgia.
I like to do it, yeah.
Yeah, it's the way I always did it, and there's a lot of things I wish, I think we talked about this before, which I don't mind talking about again. There's a lot of things I wish were still around that when I was like your daughter's age, she's never going to experience. And maybe, and things better, sure, there's a lot more convenient, a lot quicker. You could buy stuff a lot faster. But there's always the hunt, if you would, when you go into a Sound Warehouse record store, which is dated me quite a bit, and going through the albums and all this other stuff, and going to the mall or going to a store and physically looking and see if the shirt will fit or whatever else, instead of everything being done online.
Yeah.
That social aspect of shopping is gone.
Do you like to shop? Are you one of those guys that finds the bench?
Depends on what I'm doing and who I'm with.
What Robin tells you to do?
Pretty much. if we're going shoes or clothes shopping and I have to go, then I'll find the bench and, check out the phone or whatever. But I'll go to antique stores with her.
Oh, you said records, and that reminded me. I've been making these things out of vinyl records, and I had one for you, and I forgot to bring it, so don't let me forget to give it to you.
I'll see you Wednesday, I hope.
Yeah.
But they have But when I go shopping for myself or anybody, or like grocery shopping, I know where it is. I'll get through it. I'm not going to waste time. I get really impatient in the grocery store because I know where the stuff is, even after HEB moved everything.
Oh, no.
And I know where most of the things are at City Market. Those are
Yeah.
the two places I shop, depending on what I'm looking for. And I know where things are, so I'll get in that buggy, but no. Oh, no, we got people who want to ponder which type of cheese do I want.
Well, ponderers are important. It's an important part of the deal.
What can of beans and what size?
Exactly.
I'm like, get out of my way.
And now you can get everything at the grocery store. I mean, sushi.
Yeah.
I mean, every grocery store. It's crazy.
Well, I never have understood the value of sushi. It's like eating fish bait, but
No, it's not. Well, I mean, I'm not a very sushi.
I'm not going to do it.
You're not going to do it? You don't
What,
eat
is
such
sushi
kind?
on the Optavia diet?
Not technically, no.
Not technically, no.
No. There's a lot of things that aren't technically on the diet, but we can rationalize that away.
Well, yeah, but now we're beginning that season where for people like myself, diabetics, it's a tough sledding for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah, and it's a really good eating plan for that. It's just it's a lifestyle plan, really.
And you have like different not portions in terms of meal size, but number of meals a day, right?
Yeah, basically you're doing 6 meals a day. You've got 5 of what they call fuelings. My nails look terrible. Okay.
Oh, they look great.
I'll just put those 4 out. Yeah.
Lord.
Okay, just kidding. So there's 5 fuelings a day, and those are, they can be potatoes. It's stuff that comes directly from Optavia. So it could be potatoes, it could be bars, it could be shakes, it could be little muffins, all kinds of stuff. So you fix one of these fuelings every 2 to 3 hours, and I think that's also part of the key is the eating often. So eating small amounts often. So that's the plan. And it's pretty flexible, and it's the more you do it, the easier it gets because you find all these little tips and tricks to get through, like a little waffle iron. That's a game changer. Sugar-free whipped cream is a game changer. You never would have thought that, but it is.
Well, my friend who's also diabetic, we had a Sunday school party after class yesterday, a chili cook-off, and she made a sugar-free pie. It's actually pretty good.
Oh.
Very, very good.
What kind of sugar substitute did she use?
I really don't know. I'm going to have to ask her for the recipe, but she had a little bit of peppermint in it and chocolate and a walnut crust, not a graham crust, and it was...
A walnut crust?
Yeah.
Well, that sounds delicious.
Yeah, it was very good. And so there are things you can do, but trying to keep not just the weight off, but the numbers from going crazy. You go to Thanksgiving and you got to try everything or you hurt feelings.
Oh, no.
Or you think, well, it's just Thanksgiving. I mean, a little extra potatoes ain't going to hurt. Put that brown gravy on, Mom.
You can eat your Optavia potatoes. They're not bad.
They're not bad. See, that's the thing. When I see or hear about dieters, they remind me of these long distance runners. They all have this face on them, like I'm running like 4 miles, and they're so miserable. There's one of my friends on Facebook, a young lady named Cheryl, who's a long distance runner, and one of my former students, real sweet young lady, and she's always running, and I'm like, is it fun?
I'm only gonna run if somebody chases me.
Or it's like watching college football, in particular. I'm watching like Nick Saban with Alabama, and he looks like he's the most miserable man in the world, even if he's kicking somebody's butt by 40 points. I'm thinking, are you having a good time there, Nick?
Yeah.
You should, But dieters, they look like, they're fasting with the sackcloth, and they're looking so sad.
That sounds very dramatic. Do I look sad?
No, but you
Okay.
look great. You're on it as well.
Yeah.
And it's worked for you.
I've been off and on. Yeah, we've had a lot of stuff going on personally, so it's been a little stressful. And so we should maybe talk about what you do when it's so stressful.
Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest thing for me is preparation. So if I start Monday without a couple of things prepared in the refrigerator, then it's probably, I'm just setting myself up for failure, But if you prepare a little bit and you kind of think ahead, it's much easier.
What do you consider to be a failure?
Well, I mean, depending on what your goals are. I mean, if my goal is to be on Optavia, then if I go eat half of a cheesecake, then that's a failure, kind of. But I don't like that
Sounds so
word.
good though.
It does, doesn't it?
I know, yeah.
A little bit of raspberry sauce.
Hey, we get creative sometimes. We make stuff out of these shakes and bars that you didn't even know existed. So,
I like chocolate shakes, and one of the things I had to give up was chocolate shakes among going through Dairy Twin when it was still around.
Oh, yeah.
I did that.
Ooh.
I did
that was a
that
big
more than I
loss.
needed to.
That was a failure. That's gone.
At Brahms is another place to get a decent shake. I haven't had one of those in years because it's like if I'm going to blow my numbers, I better choose wisely.
Yeah.
And my weakness is potatoes.
Well, then
mashed, fried.
you'd be golden because you can fry these you can make like little waffles out of them, and it makes like a grilled cheese sandwich. But you can actually have cheese on there. It's really good. In fact, that's the thing that if people are like, oh, I want to try something. I'm like, okay, so I make that, and they're like, okay, sign me up. So
maybe I'll sample some of that.
but it's really good for. I mean, it's a very low carb, low sugar, so it's very good for people that have diabetes. And
do you have to be fully on this Optavia plan, or just like if I wanted just the potatoes and just this, can I do that as well?
yeah, of course.
Okay, so because I think a lot of times when you hear about these kind of plans like Optavia, it's like you're either 100% eating this and nothing else, or zip. You can't just like, well, I'm not going to be fully on board, but I would like the potatoes. I would like. What else do y'all offer, like for sides or entrees?
There's lots of shakes. We have all of the bars, like a peanut butter bar, the chocolate peanut butter bar, the lemon bar. There's all kinds of varieties. And, that's a good question because my friend Stacy, she's doing this with me. And she's funny. She goes on like every other week. And I'm like, why would you do that? She's like, I'm just trying to maintain. So it makes sense. But, the more you do it, the easier it gets. And it's actually not very expensive.
Right.
When you look at it. I know that some people argue, well, that's a lot of money at one time. Well, okay. But you know what? Add up what you spend at Starbucks this month. Add up what you spend at the drive-thru. I mean, that's a killer.
Well, that for me would be close to zero because I like to think I'm fairly disciplined. Because I went for the first time in months through Taco Bell the other day because I just had to have something.
Yeah.
And they don't have a chicken and broccoli drive-through store.
No.
Now they do have that salad.
Salad and go. That place is excellent, by the way.
Well, I mean, you try to hit them up for sponsorship.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm always looking for sponsors because I think we have a nice little crew here, and I add them to the family. But going through drive-throughs, I mean, it's killer.
Yeah.
The least damaging thing I can get through a drive-through are tacos. If I get a burrito, I love bean burritos.
Yeah.
But if I have one, I'll have a 280, and if you're diabetic, you know what that means. And that's just, I can't do it.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking about Optavia, not just for non-diabetics, but for people like myself.
Yeah.
As a means, not so much just for weight control, but for sugar control.
Right. Yeah, anything low carb is going to be better for that, But the thing I think that why this is successful for me versus other
Say it right.
I can't even speak. I just got choked up about it. I'm emotional.
You're emotional about
I'm
your
emotional
Optavia.
about the Optavia. Emotional about my scale, our relationship. No, not really. So when you, it's so rude. That scale is rude sometimes.
It's so rude.
I know it's a lion scale, but
Lion
anyway,
scale.
you've got these 6 basic meals, 2 to 3 hours. That's a lot. So you're eating. It feels like you're eating all the time. And I know this might sound nuts, but some days it's really hard to get all the food in.
No, some days I'm hungrier than others. Some days I don't eat till noon.
Yeah.
And for a diabetic, they say, no, you really can't do that. And so again, that might help to have something. Because like when I drive to Dallas for my class, I have one of those protein bars from the store, and you'd think it's low cal, whatever else, and whatever, still blows me up.
Yeah.
That's just the nature of being diabetic. Now, fortunately, on my last endocrinology visit, but 3 weeks ago, I had none of the symptoms. I mean, my numbers were but I will not have the dumbness in the feet, or my eyes are fine.
That's good, yeah.
So all those are still good, but as you get older, you have to take more insulin as your body builds up a resistance to it. And that's just the way it is.
Yeah, it's tough.
But do you have diabetics that use it, or mostly it's for weight control?
I mean, it's for weight control. It's for a lifestyle change. But, the side effects are weight loss, which is a great side effect to have, I think where, typically if I say I had to go to a birthday party or a baby shower or whatever, and I eat a few little things that are not, they're off plan, normally what I would do is say, oh, well, forget it. Let me go ahead and book the Cheesecake Factory and everything else today. I must really like cheesecake. It's been on my brain like twice now.
I guess.
So anyway, whether I would just go ahead and sabotage the rest of the day, well, no, what I'm doing is getting right back on it. And that's helped me a lot. So I don't stay in that mindset very long. Because a lot of it's mental for me. I mean, when you're raised around that much food's a thing.
Yeah, it is. Comfort food is.
Yeah.
I tell you, when we were growing up, chicken fried steak and pinto beans.
I love chicken fried steak.
Yeah, it's always on the table. You know, now they say, oh no, you don't have chicken fried steak. You'd have to have kale or something like that, and just.
You have a vegan chicken fried steak?
Oh please, vegan anything.
I don't know. Plant-based stuff's not bad. Grace was vegan for a while when she was little.
I thought she still was.
No, thank God, because we couldn't have. food around her because we thought we felt guilty, you know?
Well, I have a couple of relatives that I'll be seeing Thanksgiving that are vegans, and we just say,
Really?
it's your problem, not mine. And I'll
Yeah.
slap another piece of ham on the table.
Slap another piece of ham on the table.
Yeah, that's right. Well, so we're not worried about it, hurting their feelings. I mean, that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to criticize vegans, but I have no intention of being one.
Yeah, I don't either.
I like red meat. I like grilling out.
Yeah, I'm not a huge anything particular fan. Like I could, if my mom's always like, "Oh, I have to have meat," and I don't. I could eat all vegetables and of course
Well,
a lot of butter and stuff too. But
your mother and I come from the same generation, close anyway. And
oh my gosh, no.
well, I'm 60,
Yeah,
and your mother's what, 74?
77.
77. Well, okay. But anyway, I'm just saying, us older people, vegans and, vegetarian diets
so
and all
bizarre.
that. It just,
Yeah.
It's
Seems like a cult, doesn't it?
it's like something that, hippies in San Francisco do, but
Yeah.
now everybody else, a lot of people do it. And
Yeah.
it's,
Well, even
fine,
McDonald's
but-
or I don't know if it's McDonald's, but Burger King has an Impossible Whopper.
yeah, that's right.
It's actually pretty tasty.
Really.
I got one by accident one time, and it was like, wasn't quite right, but I was like, what's happening?
My cousin, who up in Kiowa County,
Oh,
who says, hey, by the way.
Cowwa cousin, hello.
Yeah, the king of Kiowa County would be he'd be pulling what's left of his hair out about vegan burgers and whatever
Yeah.
else, being a cattle rancher.
Yeah.
So but that's the way it is. But anyway, the thing about the meals though is that I think a lot of people also think, well, I got to time it like I do medication. Okay, it's 9 o'clock must eat. 11 o'clock must eat. What if you're not available at 11 o'clock to eat? I mean,
Well, that's why we make it really convenient for you. We just the little bar in your pocket, and you can just chew on it. You can just eat it while you're doing your Zoom call, and when it's not your turn or
Yeah.
whenever. It's very convenient. There's really no excuses left when you do this. You either want to do it or you
darn,
don't.
no excuses.
No excuses. Sorry, Mr. Allard.
What about, you have like a scheduler kind of thing? Is it online or do you have like a little pocket schedule?
We have a couple of different apps you can do to track your weight, and then also to get recipes and to see how you're doing. And the community is a big part of this deal,
Yeah.
which I'm a huge fan of community. And so what we've kind of done and with our little group is we've built a little bit of a community around that. So every other Wednesday night, the ladies and I that are on this plan will come together, share recipes, we share clothes, we share fuelings that we trade back and forth. So it's good. It gives you more options and it gives you more support.
Is this a Zoom thing or do y'all get together?
No, we come
literally?
together. Yeah.
Where do y'all meet?
We meet up at the hub.
I figured.
Yeah.
And so you'll get together and yeah, I hope it's a happy group or they say,
Yeah.
oh, I had to give up this and I don't
No,
need that.
in fact, they look forward to it because I'm like, do y'all want to meet again? And they're like, yes.
Well, they need the support system.
Right. Well, sometimes that's all it takes is somebody telling you that you can, because
Well, and that's another thing. A lot of people that are on diets feel like they're out there by themselves because everybody else seems to be gorging themselves on cake and cookies, and you're like, oh, well, I got to have this celery stalk.
Right.
And that's, so you're trying to change the negative implications of
Yeah.
dieting with Optavia, it sounds like.
Yeah, and it comes with a life book and all these things, so you can really journal your experience. You can track it, and it gives you just stuff, appropriate things to do or things to add in all the time. So it's like anything else. It's what you make it. What do you want to do? If you have this goal and you set it and you achieve it, then
And I'm betting that little group of yours and other groups like it start sharing more than just food tips, right, after a while.
oh yeah, of course,
They become friends.
yeah, they become friends, of course.
And, I remember Kimmy, our friend, she was the one that got you involved, right? It's not like a revival meeting, but there is like, moral and spiritual uplift to
Right.
it to try to keep everybody's spirits up. And also for the other aspects of their life, other than dieting, it's like a community
Yeah, it really is.
and in all senses of the word. And so,
Well,
anyway,
we went to the convention this year.
Oh,
it was
my.
in Atlanta.
I bet it was like one of those Mary Kay conventions and like a revival meeting.
It was a little bit like, you leave there and you're like pumped up, one of those deals. And I was so resistant. I was like, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to get pumped up. I just want to do this thing and lose my weight. And then before long, you're like, oh, yes, I love this thing. And it's like, oh, man, what happened? You just got caught by the...
You got drawn in.
You got
didn't
got. I got drawn in. But it was a great community of people. And I was thinking, there was probably 14,000 people there.
Really?
Yeah. It was in the Atlanta Convention Center or somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know, I was there, but I forgot exactly where it was. It's a really big. I haven't been to Atlanta in probably. Oh, sorry. Oh, I haven't been to Atlanta in about 20.
Yeah, it's been a long time for me,
years.
too.
Yeah.
Was it almost all women?
No, there was a lot of women, mostly women.
Yeah.
But a lot of husbands, a lot of teams involved.
Okay.
So it was great to see these transformation stories. And if you ever want to get motivated, you can go to the transformations page and look. It's like the before and afters and all the things that people didn't do, the stories of people that were on their last leg and they've come up and now they're, some big global director and all these things and changing lives everywhere they go because people are watching what they do, you know?
Where can one access all this information?
Well, they can call me.
Okay, what's that?
You can call me at 817-897-8329.
One more time?
817-897-8329.
Is there a page they can look to?
I can share my, I don't have my link with me, but I can share the link with you on your page later.
Is there an yeah, sure, that'd be great.
I have a specific website for Optavia, but you can go to Optavia.com if you want to kind of get an overview.
That's what I was thinking. There is an Optavia.com, and you get an overview, and if they want to get a hold of you specifically, you give them the number, and you're going to, I guess after the show, you can just hook on this page with the website address.
Okay. But you can, when you go to the Optavia page, you can, I think it says search a coach or whatever. You can type my name. My name is Camille.
And
C-A-M-I-L-L-E.
Yeah. Mike Harris.
Who's Mike?
Mike Harris has been listening lately, and I appreciate that very much.
Oh, no.
What does he say? I can't see quite.
He says, I'm going to invent a toilet seat scale to measure my progress in dieting.
Well, that's one way of getting it done. Okay.
It's kind of a crappy way.
Nothing like bathroom humor.
I'll be a little bit inappropriate on a Monday morning.
Well, whatever. But so you can look up Optavia.com, and also would have the price list and whatever else.
Yeah,
right?
and I would say, let me address that really quick. Do we have a second, or do you do sponsors?
No, I already done the sponsors while you were gallivanting around town.
Oh, I know. Sorry, I just had to gallivant. I
usually do the sponsors now at the beginning because I don't want to interrupt the train of thoughts.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh, you know how difficult that is for me.
Yeah.
What was the question?
Really?
Yeah.
But you ready to address the cost of Optavia while she hacks up a lung.
Sorry.
All right.
Allergies. So it's about $10 to $12 a day. And so it's roughly $400 when you start for the month, which I think that's the biggest complaint I get. But people that do it, they realize, I save a lot of money actually when I do this plan. So not only do I save money, but I also feel better and also lose weight. It does make you feel better. I will say it's full of probiotics and all kinds of natural things that you, I'm sure it's got other stuff in it too, but it's got enough probiotics that you really feel, really stellar gastro situation. So if you have reflux or anything like that, that calms down if you're staying on plan.
But the price lists are varied depending upon the number of meals you buy, right?
Well, you have to have 5 fuelings a day plus. And I didn't really say the other one. The other one's a lean and green, so that's something you cook yourself.
Okay.
It could be chicken and broccoli. You can have, pretty much unlimited lettuce, pickles, cucumbers. There's lots of things you can do to fill. And that's what I'm talking about preparation too. Like if I just buy cucumbers at the store and I don't wash them or cut them up, I'm probably not going to eat them. So you have to prepare for those things and have some good snacks ready.
Yeah. Oh, nothing says snack like cucumbers.
Yes,
but still,
that's what I'm talking about.
Well, let's change gears a bit. What'd you think of our little B&I meeting Thursday night?
Well, I was a little disappointed that there weren't more people.
Yeah.
But it's a hard time of the year to do events because, people are coming home for the holidays. They're leaving for the holidays. They're preparing for all these things that are about to happen. It's the end of the year. So I don't know. I think but at the same time, I think the right people always show up. It's like the Hubs deal. Like I haven't even got to advertise much because the right people just walk in the door. It's very odd how it's very spirit driven to me. So I feel like maybe the right people came and maybe they'll tell the right people. I don't know.
Well, yeah. I like our group. I know it's a commitment and all that. And not so much it
really is, but it's community too.
It's more of a time commitment for the financial commitment because I've made my money back, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because, I've had several sponsors, including 3 still on me right now from it.
Yeah.
And I've gotten referenced by our friends that are outside the group. Hey, if you want to think about advertising, you could do it through either mine or Local Life.
Right.
Which is she's almost like Tiffany's like a, I don't know, associate member, if I will, because a lot of people use her from the group.
Yeah.
Or think about it. And so, so I think it's a great deal. I know it's tough though, because we meet at 8:30 on Wednesdays and they expect you to show up. This isn't like just,
no, it's not a casual
coffee
group.
and cookies and
It's kind of some serious.
Well, it's structured. You go in there and you have 15 minutes of schmooze time and you meet the new guests and whatever else and shake hands. And then we go around the room, of course, and say what we need. I need seasonal sponsors. If they just want to sponsor for 3 months during the season, great. Or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you'll say you're looking for a certain type of client for the hub.
Right.
Somebody has technical needs and whatever else. And we just go around the room and then we have a presentation. by one of the members, about 10 minutes. And then we have at the end said, okay, here's the last week what we've done, B&I related. Well, I had
Right, so we track our progress.
Yeah, gave away 2 references to this guy. I had a 1-to-1 with this guy. And we're done almost always by 10 o'clock exactly because they're real stickler about that. And I just endorse anybody listening out there. If they're looking for a networking group, I mean, there are a lot of them out there and some of them don't require anything of you, but you're going to get what you put in.
Yeah.
You know, if you go to some of these, and I'm sure there's some that are pretty good, but if you don't have any kind of skin in the game, as they say, financially and time-wise, I don't feel like going to the meeting today. Well,
yeah, and I think the industry has a lot to do with it too, because I've been in a couple of different industries since I've been in there, and if the inner workings are not working right, that puts a kind of a kink in the whole thing. For example, like a power group, like the real estate group, you've got your title people, you've got your real estate people, your insurance people, your home warranty people. All these things is a good group, and they call that power group. So if there's not, if there's not synergy in that group, that kind of throws it off. So I think the industry that you're in, so it's really important that you go and you visit these things. And you guys can come visit our group anytime.
Right.
If you want an invite, let us know and we'll get you one. But
yeah,
it is it's really good. We're looking for the handyman is what I think we need more than anything. If you had to put in priority, what do you think would be the best trade to put in there?
Gosh, something in the building trades.
Yeah, building does great. Construction does great. Roofing does great.
Electrician, plumber, HVAC. Those were the ones I would, if I had to pick, that'd be the first ones.
Yeah.
And if you're listening out there, I promise you're going to get references because we all talk about how much we need these guys to be able to refer because we've had several people said, I need an electrician.
Well, yeah, and I'm not sure that people understand that it's a one person per trade group. So you are the expert in your field in that room. And I think that's nice.
So we're not going to have 4 real estate people or 5 electricians. If you join, you become the electrician of the group or the HVAC guy of the group.
Yeah.
And I really think that would be helpful. And,
it was. Well, I know Ed did really good in our group. I bought a brand new system from him. Several other people bought brand new systems.
But you also got a new roof from one of our.
No, I didn't got a new roof. I've just.
I thought T-Rock did something for you.
They did some construction for me.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, didn't do a roof.
Okay. Well, and as far as me, do I use the services? Well, I know if I ever want to buy jewelry, which I've been told I will be buying jewelry, I know where to buy it,
right.
And, and I got my insurance through Melissa.
Yeah, I do that too.
And so I guess this is kind of an advertisement for B&I because we really need it because to help build the group because it is a commitment.
Yeah,
and
it is.
Not everybody they get into this is great and they find out what do you mean I have to show up every or have a sub. I mean we get 3 absences every 6 months.
Yeah.
So it's not like you get fined or anything goofy like that. Like I missed last Wednesday because I was in McKinney that morning and my wife was a sub and she sat in for Gayla a couple of times because she works for her. So, but if I just flat didn't show up, well, I need to let people know. But I have 3 of those per 6 months.
Right.
And
it's doable. It's just like anything else. If it's important to you, you'll schedule the time for it. Is it difficult? Some days, yes, it is. But
well, some days you wake up and go, oh, I really need to be there. But no, I get up and do it because and I'm glad when I get there because it's some of the nicest people I've met.
Oh, yeah,
are in there.
absolutely.
And they become like your Optavia group.
Yeah.
More than just a collection that gets together on Wednesday mornings. There have been some, in the membership, there's been family crises, deaths in the family, other sicknesses and illnesses, all this, and
B&I people come together. Would you say? I mean, we have an event. It's not that doesn't have anything to do with them, and they show up. All you do is put something on the group chat.
Like the golf tournament for the ASD and whatnot. Yes.
So I mean, I think that's very impressive. But when I was in title, it seems like I'd get somewhere and they're like, "Hey, your B&I people are here," and I'm like, "What?" They always show up. They're just very supportive. It's very this is the community feature of that. That thing. I think.
So if you're interested in what we're talking about, or somebody might be, please share this with them. There is a B&I website, but we also meet at 8:30 at the Hampton.
Yeah.
Oh, 8:45 now?
8:45.
8:45 now. I get there early because they had the breakfast there. And the Hampton people say, sure, we'll just be throwing it out.
Oh, nice.
So I eat breakfast every Wednesday. And so come to the meeting. Yeah. And if we already have a seat full, so to speak, there's B&I groups all over the world practically.
Find somewhere.
There's one in Mansfield, there's one in Fort Worth. I mean, we could send you to to another group. Because like, for example, I'm the only podcaster. If you had a podcast, you want to join this group, then, you could send it to the one in Fort Worth, the one in Mansfield.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's
a bunch of, I think there's several in Fort Worth.
There's several in the area.
And there's groups
yes.
building all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. I know your daughter's tuned in here.
Oh, my daughter.
It says, hi, beauty queens, plural. I hope she's talking about you and Taylor.
What? Nope.
And,
I'm not on camera.
Y'all are so swag.
Oh, my child.
And she a beauty. Well, I'm going to have her on
I
her
love
show
her.
when she gets her second book written.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. I saw some of the artwork for it this weekend. It's really good.
How far away are we from seeing it published?
Well, she won't show me. So, Grace, if you're listening, Wyatt. Who do you know, Wyatt Berry?
Barry White?
Why not Barry White?
And,
Wyatt Berry. Oh, that's funny. That's
Barry
funny.
White is what? I mean, okay.
Yeah.
Wyatt Berry. Okay, I see what you're talking about now. No, I do not know this
Oh, okay.
gentleman.
You're just like, she's lost her mind again.
No. 10 out of 10 would wear that Hawaiian shirt. Yes, they would, Mr. Barry. I just said when you said White Berry, I thought she's making a pun of Barry White. Sorry, sir.
No, but you can make fun of, you know what? I should know better because I had the sociology professor, Dr. Cheryl Kimberly, which I absolutely adore and love. She was one of my professors at TCC, and then she worked at TCU, and I think she's at Wesleyan now. But anyway, we had a first speech we had to give, and I think I was like 17. I think it was a class I took before I graduated high school. Anyway, we had to present this thing, and my deal was about the dowry. And so the name of my paper was The Bride Price. And when I got up there, I'm like, okay, this is the bride price. She's like, whoa, hold up. The what?
Yeah.
And I'm like, the bride price? She's like, the what? And I'm like, the bride price. She said, oh. She said, okay, well, all right, go ahead with your bride price. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Anyway, we ended up being really good friends, and but I will never forget that. So you'd think that I would pronounce that better. Wyatt.
Okay. Well,
Berry.
your daughter says her book will be out in February.
Yeah. Yep.
February. So we'll book a time, I'm sure, and try to catch up with her while she's doing the tours on all the
she's
various
so
shows.
crazy.
Well, yeah.
I mean, crazy busy, but
No, crazy too, but
Yeah.
whatever. But, she told me more or less what it's going to be about, and it's really interesting because,
it's really deep. This one's really different, you know?
people said, hey, Allard, you ought to write a book. I'm like, who in the world would want to read a book by me? I'm not that big a star, but Gracie here, he's really targeting a specific market, and I think she's hit that target.
Yeah.
And so, I look forward to it.
She's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
We called her Amazing Grace.
Well, it must be her mother.
Oh, it must be. She must have had some really good rearing by her mother, who loves her so much.
Yeah. Well,
I do.
yeah, I know. My kids are doing pretty well now, and it's a long road, but they're doing pretty well now, and I'm very grateful for them.
It's fun though watching them turn into people.
Well, I see on the Facebook or come across them out here in Burleson, and now they're mothers, and I got some of their grandmothers now that I taught back in the earliest days.
Oh wow.
Well, I mean, it's not like they're
I
child
have a lot of
brides.
friends that are grandmas. It's like, what? I'm not doing
like
that.
this one young lady graduated.
Not doing that, Grace. Listen.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's 93, and so she had a child when she's like, I don't know, 22, 23.
Yeah.
That's not hardly unusual. And, so it just, wow, at the end of my tenure at BHS, I started getting the kids of former students.
Oh yeah.
If I was still there now, I might stay there like another 5 years. I'd probably get the grandkids. And I knew some teachers that had been there that long that they were teaching like their third generation of this particular family. When I first joined the high school, there were a lot of teachers there that had been there a long time. And by the end, like within a few years, they were teaching grandkids of former students.
You replaced Miss Barnes, Coach Barnes?
Yes.
Okay.
And, but there was a couple others that had been there a long time that they taught like 40 years.
Yeah.
And, and I
wonder
don't
who's
think
been there the longest.
who's been there the longest at BHS.
Yeah, I wonder who's like Mr. Ford was there a long time ago.
Well, but as far as like number of years served,
Yeah.
Charles Boardman probably comes close. The physics and science teacher, he lasted quite some time at one school.
Oh wow.
There was a lady that I worked with named Mary Marsh that had been there a long time, but she retired about my fourth year at the high school. Nancy Klein would be another one that was there quite some time. She retired about 99, I believe. As far as anybody that was there when I left, Loretta Lacosic was probably, or Carolyn Stover. I forgot her. Both of them. Probably Carolyn Stover and Loretta Lacosic. I don't know which one had been at the BHS the longest, but I know they were teachers for many, many years. I probably would guess Stover.
Yeah.
So there were some teachers there that were there forever, and they would become icons. They become
Yeah.
institutions. And when they left a hole. Barbara Tatum would be another one. She was there. We retired the same year, but she was there before I was, so she probably had 35 years in.
Yeah.
So,
well, those coaches and those teachers, they make a huge impact on people, on kids, It's life changing. It can be, good or bad.
if you include people that have transferred from BHS to Centennial, Eddie Grimes would be there. And because he was a veteran coach teacher when I joined, and now he's still at Centennial.
Okay.
And so I think the community is fortunate to have those kind of people.
Oh,
They're, institutional memory is a real thing. You need to have people there that are a member. And I tell you, I'm not really gifted in this area, but when I remember a student's name from like 1997, it means something to them.
Yeah.
There have been times I had to, okay, you're going to have to help me out here. It's been 25 years, but if I remember their name, they're so tickled by that. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Well, and you've gotten to watch a lot of your students really be successful. And
well, like yourself.
well, thank you.
You're an entrepreneuress, if that's a word.
Entrepreneurs. I like it. You just made it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we're coming down to the wire here.
Okay.
I just remind you tomorrow, check in the Toys for Tots shows because that's a really big thing. I'm really I'm glad that Gabrina Daniels hooked us two guys together.
She's great. Yeah.
Yeah, she really is. I mean,
She's a great community person.
when she comes on the show, it's always the first show day of the month, usually Monday or Tuesday. And I don't have to, say, "Oh, tell us what you're doing," and it's a 2-minute answer. No, she'll take the show and go,
Yeah.
and she's prepared, and she's excited and enthusiastic, and it's very infectious.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, she's great for this community. Something else, as far as networking, real quickly, I just want to mention the Old Town Business Association. It's a little bit more of a casual networking group, but because I can't announce that at the other group. But anyway, there's no fee for joining anymore. We do a lot of stuff in the community. We did an art walk last weekend, which was very cold. I was on the phone and Taylor came up to the thing and he's like, "Well, how y'all doing?" And anyway, my little partner over there, she didn't know what was going on. And when I got off the phone and she left, she's like, "Did you know that guy?" And I'm like, "Yes." She's like, "Oh, I didn't know." So it's hilarious. Hi.
How y'all doing?
Welcome in.
It's a very informal show. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Nice T-shirt. Is that original? The Kiss T-shirt? You didn't get it at the concert?
Oh.
Okay.
They're like, "Don't see us, we're not here."
Yeah.
I don't think that they were trying to be up in the, y'all want to sit down?
No,
Okay,
they,
all right.
they usually don't.
Okay.
And I've asked them before.
Okay.
Anyway,
So Old Town Business Association meets second Thursday of every month. Go to otba.org. otba.org. And that group is cool because it's different. There's a different goal there, but we have lots of support from the city. We have Joni Vanoy, the city administrator, who always is great about giving us information.
Joni Vanoy, she needs to get more enthusiastic, don't you think?
Joni? Oh my gosh. She makes me tired.
I know it. I've been trying to get her on the show, but I've been like, okay, today I'm going to send her an email. And
You
then
should, yeah.
And then I'll wake up about 2 a.m. I forgot.
I'll put in a good word for you.
Well, she's been on before.
Yeah.
And I just need to remind myself to do that.
Yeah.
So
She does a lot with this. Yeah, we have a great city. But anyway.
And try to get Mary Slaney on around Christmas time.
Oh, yeah.
I asked her to be on like regularly. She said, "Well, I'll come on your show, but not regularly."
Yeah.
She's so busy, the Queen of Burleson.
I know. Yeah, now she's an officer on the chamber board.
Is that right?
Yeah, she's on the board of directors.
That's good. Well, it's appropriate too.
Right. Yeah.
Well, we're going to be winding down here tomorrow. Like I said, with Jack Madsen. Thursday, I'm going to have Kevin Ozzie, the Director of Athletics and Fine Arts.
Sweet.
Next Monday, I'll give the post-mortem on this election. And also, the Tuesday show we may tape early, but I'm going to talk about what are we thankful for and have a positive, uplifting show.
I remember we did this last year.
Yes, we did it last year. What are we thankful for? So, y'all take care, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Bye.